sometimes feel my intellect and my mind is the same because they seem to be giving the same answer. But there are so many times, there's so much difference between these two, my intellect and my mind, that I can't discriminate. How do we do that?
You tell me where these two things are, I'll fix them for you.
I don't know, that's why I'm asking you, otherwise I won't ask you. I really don't know, but I don't even know they are two or one. That's my problem.
See, you go to your mechanic and say, please, my car is troubling me, I don't know whether it's the engine or the gearbox, I don't know whether it's the engine or the gearbox. Okay, you bring your car, we'll fix it. Oh, I don't know where my car is. What to do? Now, all these distinctions that you're finding between your intellect and your mind is more a studied distinction, not an experiential distinction. Please see this. It is a studied distinction, a logical distinction. Experientially, you can't separate them, isn't it? Now, if you're referring to your intellect and mind, to put it in more reasonable terms for everybody, I would say probably you're referring to your thought and your emotion. Yes? These two are not different. The way you think is the way you emote, and the way you emote is the way you think. It's both true, isn't it? And the way you think and emote depends on what data you have gathered in your life till now. The mechanism of the mind is functioning from the data that has been collected over a period of time. What input has gone in, that's the way it thinks, that's the way it emotes. Both are not of any significance. How you think is not of any significance because it is not yours. How you emote is not also of any significance because that also you gathered from outside. People think it's of tremendous significance. You know, that reminds me, about a week ago, 10 days ago, I was just driving up from Mysore to Nilgiris, up the mountain. These mountains right from my childhood, I have driven up. From bicycle to motorcycle to car, I've been driving on this road and I always loved these mountains. This time when I was driving, all the huge wonderful rocks that are there are all painted in huge bad handwriting. I love Jesus everywhere. I thought, who is this man who loves Jesus? It's always easy to love people that you have not met. Isn't it? We always love dead people. When your grandfather was at home, you were not on talking terms with him. The moment he is dead, his photograph hangs, adorns your house every day. Your gratitude that he's dead, you know. We always love the dead. From where did you get to love a man who was 2000 years ago? When you can't turn around and say hello to the man who's standing next to you, when you can't smile at the man who is walking on the street. From where did you get to love a man who is 2000 years ago? It's so easy to love him because he's not here. But this person who is next to you is here and he's so much trouble. Jesus himself never told you, you love me. He said, love thy neighbor, isn't it? Because that's the most difficult thing. To love the person who is next to you is the biggest challenge right now, isn't it? To love somebody who is not here is always very easy. So, our emotions, our minds, our thought and emotion is conditioned by these kind of things. Now, when I say, if you experience, I was just using it as an example. It is possible, that is different. But when I was talking to, I was only talking as an example. Don't believe that. But don't be a fool and disbelieve that. Now, you have great trust in modern science, isn't it? Because they have produced results for you. Science has proved beyond doubt that everything is same energy. If everything is same energy, what is it that is not allowing you to experience it that way? The only thing that is not allowing you to experience that way is your own intellect, because the very basic function of your intellect is to discriminate, is to set things apart. Only because your intellect is functioning, you are able to make out the difference between me and this chair, otherwise you wouldn't know. Only because your intellect is functioning, you know you should enter this hall through this door, not through the ventilator or through the AC vent. So, your intellect is always setting things apart. Without it, your survival is impossible. But, as you already know, your survival doesn't fulfill you. So, to use the intellect for your survival and to keep it aside when it's not needed takes some amount of control within yourself, some amount of understanding as to how this mechanism functions. Experiential understanding, not intellectual understanding. If you read your anatomy, the medical anatomy, you will not know how it functions. You know enough to fix the organs, do this, do that for disease, but you will not have enough understanding to handle the interiority. You need an experiential understanding. That's what yoga is offering you. We are offering it as a science. When I say we have to offer it as a science, it has to be perfectly logical, isn't it? Yes? Illogically, I cannot teach science to you, isn't it? So it is going to be perfectly logical, but logic is used as a tool to go beyond the limitations of logic.
For more on Sadhguru, visit www.ishafoundation.org.